Good day everyone. Today we will discussing about logical operators and special operators. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to reflect on some essential questions. So first, we need to answer what are the logical operators. Second, what are the special operators? And last, how do we use logical and special operators? By the end of our discussion, we aim to achieve the following intended outcomes. So, we need to understand the different types of logical and special operators. And we need to learn how to apply and use these operators effectively in various situations. So, without further ado, let's start. So, before we proceed to logical and special operators, let's tackle first about the rules of precedence. So when we work with multiple operators in a single expressions, it is important to know the order in which they are executed. This is called the rules of precedence. These rules helps the computer to decide which operators or operation to perform first, ensuring that the results are accurate. To put it simply, some operators take priority over others. For example, multiplication and division are performed before addition and subtraction. Understanding this order will help you avoid mistakes and write clearer, more efficient code. So let's explore these rules in more detail so we can see how they apply in different situations. So for the rules that establish the order to which computation are computed, so first we need to perform operation within the parentheses. Next, we need to perform power operations. Third, we need to perform multiplication and division. And lastly, we need to perform addition and subtraction. So to explain the rules of precedence more clearly, let's take a look at these examples. So for the first example, we have 2 multiplied close parentheses power of 2 raised to 3. So ang basa dito is 2 raised to 3 plus 2. So, if naaalala nyo kaganina yung steps na dapat gawin kapag ginagamit natin yung rules of precedence, ang laging nauuna is yung parentheses. So, before we solve yung nasa labas ng parentheses, we need to solve first yung nasa loob. So, the power of 2 raised to 3 is equals to 8. So, 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. And after we solve the problem or operators inside the parentheses, we can move on to solve the power or the operators outside the parentheses. So, 10 multiplied by 2 is equals to 20. So, dapat ang maging sagot dito is 20. So, let's check. Execute. And here, the answer is 20. So, tama yung naging sagot natin. So next, we need to solve if wala namang parentheses. So dito, yung problem natin is 2 multiply the power of 2 raised to 3 plus 2. Ayan. So if natatandaan nyo yung steps kaganina sa rules of precedence, kapag walang parentheses, ang dapat unahin natin is yung power. So 2 raised to 3 is equals to 8. So after power, after we solve the power, is yung next step is we need to multiply or divide before tayo mag-add or subtract. So, 8 times 2 is equals to 16. Then, for the last step is we need to add 2. So, 16 plus 2 is equals to 18. So, dapat ang magiging sagot dito is 18. Let's check. Execute. Yan. Tama. 18 yung naging sagot. Yan. So, for the first problem, ang naging sagot natin dito is 20 because inuna muna natin yung nasa loob ng parenthesis before moving forward to solve the problem or the operator outside the parenthesis. Sa second naman, if wala naman parenthesis, ang dapat natin laging unahin is yung power before we multiply and subtract. So, execute natin yung dalawa and ito yung magiging sagot. 20 and 18. So, ayun lang. Sana naintindihan nyo yung order of or rules of precedence.
Let us discuss the logical operators and, or, and not. These operators can be used to specify conditions in SQL. Now, let us tackle about the AND operator first. AND operator returns true only if all the conditions are also true. We can see here in the truth table, the result will only return true if both column A and B are also true. Kapag may false na siya, kahit sa isang column lang, magre-return na siya ng false sa result niya. Let us see the example here. Select from column business entity ID, person type, first name, last name, from person table wherein person type should be EM and first name is equals to John. Pag gusto natin makuha yung mga data na may pangalan na John at person type niya is yung M or EM, kailangan mag-match sila pareho para mag-return ng result. In this case, dapat parehong true yan para mag-return yung isang query. Next is the OR operator. OR operator returns true if either condition is true. Makikita natin dito sa truth table na kapag kahit may isang column lang na true, magre-return na siya ng result na true. Magpo-false lang siya kapag lahat ng column is false. In using OR operator, we need to consider some things. Number 1 is when repeating OR clauses for the same field, consider using the IN operator. Instead na gumamit po tayo ng OR multiple times sa parehas na column, we can use the IN operator instead. So we can see here, yung una is puro OR. So, parang mas magulo siya tignan or yung readability niya is magulo. Pero pag ginamit natin yung in, nasa isang parenthesis na lang yung mga data, tapos maglalagay tayo ng keyword dito na in, para hindi na natin paulit-ulit ginagamit yung or at mas malinis siya tignan. Number 2 is be careful mixing and or operators together. Just like sa math, wherein yung multiplication is done before addition, SQL has an order for evaluating and or operators. Yung and, yun yung mauuna. So, kapag minix natin yung parehas, baka magulo yung magiging result. For this example, where age is greater than 18 and gender is equals to M or city is equals in Manila. Kapag walang parenthesis, ang mangyayari dito, parang sinasabi ng condition na to is yung people older than 18 who are male or anyone from Manila. Which may not be yung miniment ng condition mo. Last thing to consider is when in doubt, we can use parentheses and place them around the OR clauses to ensure the Boolean conditions are properly evaluated. Dito naman, sa example na to, meron ng parenthesis sa AND conditions. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, mas clear na siya. Ang miniment ng condition mo is yung males older than 18 or anyone from Manila. Last, for the logical operator is the NOT operator. The SQL NOT operator returns the opposite of the Boolean value it precedes. We can see here in the truth table, yung column A, kung ano yung nasa column A, kung ano yung value niya, binabaliktad lang ng NOT operator yung result. So, kung true yung data mo, ang result niya is false. So, kung false, true, and vice versa. So, here is the example for the logical operators. Let us discuss the AND operator first. Here in our condition, where I select all column from table products, where P price is greater than 500 and P cut is equals to cars. Magre-return lang to ng value kapag both condition ay true. Try natin siya i-run. So, kapag nirun natin, ang result is yung Kia cars. Meron siyang category na cars and yung price niya is more than 500. So, ayan yung nireturn niyang value dahil both condition ay true. As we can see here, meron siyang price na 510 and then yung category niya ay cars. So, ito yung nireturn niyang value. So, next is for the OR operator. Select all column from table products wherein P price is greater than 500 or P cut is equals to cars. Let us try to run this first. So, kapag nirun natin siya, dalawang data na yung lumalabas. Since kahit isa lang yung mag-true dito, i-return niya yung value or magre-return siya even though isa lang yung nag-true. So, dito, kahit na yung Toyota is hindi siya greater than 500 yung price niya, nag-return pa rin siya dahil yung category niya is cars. Also, yung kay Kia din, since both dito ay true. Here, Toyota, yung category niya na cars is true, although yung 500 niya na price is not true. Next for the NOT operator, select all column from table products where NOT P cut is equals to cars. Ang i-return niyang value ay yung mga category na hindi equals sa cars, since meron siyang NOT operator here. Let us try to run this. Ito. Ang na-return niyang value ay yung kay Geely and Toyota. Since yung category nila is van, hindi cars. Itong kay Kia and yung kay Toyota, hindi niya ni-return dahil nga ang category nila is cars, while yung kay Toyota and Geely is van. So, ayun yung ni-return niya.
Now, we will discussing about the between operator. The between operator is a special tool used to check if a value falls within a specific range. This operator is especially useful when you need to filter data or check condition within a certain boundaries. For example, it's like asking, is this number between 10 and 20? The between operator is inclusive, meaning it includes both the lower and upper limits of the range. We will now take a closer look at how the between operator works and see how it can simplify our logic when working within the range. To understand between operators more clearly, then let's take a look at these examples. So for the first example, we have table products where P price or price between 50 and 100. So we have two values in yung products and price. So dito, gumamit tayo ng between operator, wherein yung function ng between operator is kine-check niya if yung range nga ba ng price ng product is pasok sa range na gusto natin kunin, wherein yung range na gusto natin kunin dito is between 50 and 100. Kapag pasok yung price ng product sa range na gusto natin kunin, for example 50, 51, 52, 53, so on and so forth, is ang mangyayari is yung table ng price na yon is mag-show up kapag in-execute natin yung program. Kapag hindi naman pasok yung price ng product sa range na gusto natin kunin, for example, 49, 48, 47, 46, so on and so forth, ang mangyayari is hindi siya mag-show up kapag in-execute natin yung program. So, simply, yung mga pasok lang sa range yung mag-show up or yung table na mag-show up kapag in-execute natin yung program. So, for the next example naman, we have table products where P price is greater than 50 and P price is less than 100. Dito, yung logic naman dito is we use greater than and less than operator. So, dapat yung price is greater than 50. So, dapat hindi siya mag-exact 50. Pwede dito 50.001, 51, 52, 53, so on and so forth. Kapag yung sa price naman is less than 100, syempre hindi siya pwede mag-exact 100 din. So, dapat less than 100. Pwedeng 99.999, 98, 97, 96, so on and so forth. So, ayun, hindi siya pwedeng mag-exact 50 and exact 100. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-less than 50 or greater than 100. Pwede lang siya or pasok lang siya sa range kapag between 50 to 100. So, pwede siyang 51, 52, 53, so on and so forth. Ayun. So, try natin na-execute. Ito muna. Pag in-execute natin to, ang magiging result is zoom pa natin. Magiging result is 50 dahil nga 50 yung price niya, pasok sa range, mag-show up yung table niya. 55 dahil nga pasok between 50 and 100 nga siya, mag-show up din yung table niya. And 100 dahil nga 100 pasok pa din sa range, is mag-show up din yung table niya. So, tatlong table yung nag-show up na pasok sa range. Dito naman, ko-compare naman natin siya dito. Pag greater than or less than ginamit. So, dito, dahil nga 55 lang yung pasok sa range, wherein bawal nga yung 50 and 100, is 55 lang yung mag-show up sa table kapag in-execute natin. Next, we were using between operators in text naman. So, here we have select first name, last name from person, where last name between Colvin and Contreras. Yung variable natin dito, which is yung Colvin and Contreras, have the same first two letters, wherein yung CO and CO nga. And yung third letter nila is magkaiba na, wherein L and N. So, ang mangyayari dito, ano nga ba yung gitna ng L and N? Syempre, yung M. So, ang mangyayari, kapag in-execute natin yung program na to, which is ginamitan nga natin ng between operator, dapat yung surname na merong COL, CON, and COM is mag-show up kapag in-execute natin yung table. So, ang gagawin natin dito is i-edit lang natin yung ibang surname dito para makita natin na mag-show up nga kapag ginamitan natin ng COM na surname. So, dito, gamitan natin ng common. Dito naman, gamitan natin ng comma. So, save lang natin. So, kapag in-execute natin, dapat makikita natin yung may mga surname na Colvin, common, comma, and Contreras. So, execute lang natin. Execute. So, dito, makikita na natin siya. Kung, ayun. Nag-execute nga. So, dito, meron tayo Roberto Colvin, Zen Contreras, Roberto comma, Roberto common, Roberto Calvin, Zen Contreras, Roberto comma, so on and so forth. So, ayun. Same with this one. Since ginamitan nga natin siya ng equal operator. So, dapat same lang sila na maging result. So, execute na natin. And tingnan natin kung same lang sila na magiging result. Yan. So, same lang sila na naging result. Kasi nga, may equal sign. Yung na-discuss natin kaganinang operator. Which is, lalagyan lang natin siya ng equal sign para maging same na yung value nila. So, ayun lang. Sana naintindihan nyo. And mas naging clear yung paggamit ng between operator sa explanation ko. Ayun lang. Thank you.
These operators allow for easy filtering of data between two specific dates, reducing complexity compared to multiple conditions, greater than or equal and less than or equal. This is particularly helpful for querying records for specific periods, such as weekly, monthly, or yearly reports. For example, pulling all records modified within a certain date range to track data changes or update logs. So, sa install naman tayo. Install is used to check if a value in a column is missing or undefined, meaning the value is null. In database, null represents the absence of a value, not zero or an empty string, but literally nothing. When you want to filter or find records where a certain column doesn't have a value, you can use isNull. The isNull operator is crucial for identifying incomplete data. It helps in quality assurance by locating records where key information like vendor or other critical attributes is missing. For example, in an e-commerce settings, this could help identify products without vendors. to helping to fill the gaps in the product catalog.
So we can also use between operators for date. Take note that all values of the starting until the ending are included. So for this example, when we try to execute two examples, we will return the values of January 14, 2014 and January 12, 2014. So after that, sa null naman tayo. For the use of the null operator, the install operator returns all values having null in that particular column. So in this example, we will check all the vendor that is null from the table product. So using select asterisk from table products where vendor is null, ito check natin kung null nga ba ang vendors. So as you can see, the table ng vendor is null. So ano nga ba yun null? I-recall ko lang ulit. Ang null is hindi siya zero. So it means null represents the absence of value, not zero or an empty string, but literally nothing. When you want to filter or find records where a certain column that doesn't have a value, you use is null.
Pag-usapan naman natin si like operator. So ano nga ba si like operator? The like operator in SQL is used when you want to search for data that matches a particular pattern instead of looking for exact matches. So makakatulong ito lalo na kung hindi ka pa sigurado sa eksaktong laman ng data na hinahanap mo. Tulad ng mga pangalan o product code na medyo magkaiba pero may parehong structure. So paano nga ba nag-work si like operator? It enables partial matching, which makes your queries more flexible and dynamic. So ano nga ba yung wildcard? Here are the common wildcards in like operator. So meron tayong apat. Una na dito is si percent sign. This matches 0 or more characters. It can represent any number of characters, including no characters at all, in the position where it is used. Si percent ay pwedeng gamitin sa simula, gitna o dulo ng pattern para makahanap ng records na naglalaman, nagsisimula o nagtatapos sa isang specific na string.
So, the wildcard percent represents 0 or more characters. So, sa unang example, which is yung percent is nasa dulo, will match any name starting with Peter, followed by any sequence of characters. So, may kita naman sa table natin ay makikita rin si Petero and Petera kasi nga may Peter din sa pangalan nila. Same applies sa pangalawang example, which is nasa unahan yung percent, which matches names ending with ether. So, i-return na value is yung pangalan ni Letter and Peter kasi sila lang naman yung dalawang may ether sa pangalan. Lastly, sa example naman na yung percent nasa magkabilang dulo, which finds name containing ete anywhere in them. So, ang i-return na value is 4 na kasi si Letter, Peter, Petero, and Petera is nagko-contain siya ng ete sa kanilang name.
So number 2 naman is si underscore. This wildcard matches exactly one character. It is useful when you know how many characters you are looking for, but are uncertain about what the characters are.
Dako naman tayo sa wildcard na underscore, which is represents a single character. So sa unang example na underscore E underscore matches name with exactly one character before and after E. So ang i-return na value niya is si Ben Ken. Sa pangalawa naman na example, which is underscore EN, it matches names with exactly one character before EN. So ano nga bang name yung nagtatapos sa EN? So si Ken at Ben lang naman. So ayun lang din ang i-return niyang value.
For the last wildcard, we have the caret symbol. Caret is used inside square brackets to negate or exclude characters from the match. When placed at the start inside square brackets, it tells SQL I want to match any character except one listed inside. So, paano nga ba nag-work si caret symbol? It means not or any character except the ones you specify inside the bracket.
Ng wildcard, which is yung bracket. So yung wildcard is nagsisilbi siyang pang-range mo kung ano ba yung gusto mong lumabas na value. So ang nandito sa example ko is only K followed by EN kasi gusto kong mag-return sa akin na name is si Ken lang. Nakikita nyo naman sa table is nag-return nga siya sa akin, which is yung pangalan ni Ken Ashley sa wildcard na caret. So, yung nasa example natin is bracket, caret, tapos yung character na gusto kong i-disregard, bracket, followed by AN. So, it matches names where the first character is anything but J, followed by EN. So, yung letter J yung dinisregard ko, or hindi ko siya nilagay sa range na gusto kong lumabas na value or mag-return na value sa akin. So, lumabas na ano sa akin is 7 lang dahil na-disregard na natin yung K kaya hindi na makikita yung name ni Ken sa table.
Here's an example of how to check whether an attribute value matches any value within a value list. It can be used to get data when a specific condition has been reached either from set of values in it. So first is select, then asterisk from which table, which is the table product, then where, person, P underscore ID, in parentheses 1, 2, and 4. So it should, when you run it, it should print the PID of table products, which are 1, 2, and 4. So here, after we run it, we get the ID of 1, 2, and 4. We could also use a subquery to act as a filter for the statement. Here's the example. First is we type select, then asterisk, from, which table, which is the person, then where, then the business entity ID, business entity ID, then in, then parentheses, select business entity ID again, then from which table, which is the table person, then where, last name, for example, we want to see if there is a last name like apostrophe V. Hanapin natin yung last name na V. Then, percent sign, apostrophe, parenthesis, then terminator. Or semicolon. Then, you run it. So, walang lumabas. Meaning, may last name na letter V. So, tignan natin po. Wala nga ba talaga? Then, wala nga. Ang last name nga is Sanchez, Delphi, Tambuelo, Colvin, Condales. Ipalagal natin siya. Na Sanchez. Hanapin natin yung Sanchez na last name. So, we type Sanchez. Then run again. So, ayun. Meron na isa which is si Ken J. Sanchez. So, the SQL in operator is utilized in the where clause to check if a column value belongs to a specified set of values. The following statements demonstrates how to use the in operator to find individuals with variations of the name Tom. So first we type select, then the first name, comma, last name, then from which table, which is the person table, where, first name, in, parenthesis, kung ano mga first name natin nakita, which is apostrophe Ken, Jen, and Tony. So, pag nilat natin yung query, dapat makikita natin yung mga pangalan nila Tom, Thomas, or Tony. So, ang lalabas na is si Ken J. Sanchez, which is Ken lang, meaning walang ibang pangalan na may Tom or Jenny, or Thomas or Tom. So, here we have the SQL in operator with its subquery. Ang in operator ay hindi lang para sa mga fixed values. So, pwede rin siyang gamitin kasama ng subqueries para makakuha ng mas dynamic na data. So, here's an example. We type select business entity ID, the first name, and the last name. So, hanapin natin yung business entity ID, first name, last name, from table person. Then where, business entity ID again, then in, parentheses, select, business entity ID from employee. So, sa query na to, kinukuha natin yung business entity ID, first name at last name mula sa person table. Pero sa where clause, gumagamit tayo ng if operator ng may subquery. Ang subquery na select business entity ID from employee ay nagbibigay ng listahan ng business entity ID mula sa employee table. Ibig sabihin, ang query na to, magpapakita lang ng mga tao sa person table na ang business entity ID ay tumutugma sa mga business entity ID na galing sa employee table. So, sa madaling salita, ang in operator ay super helpful kapag kailangan mo ikumpara ang column value sa isang listahan ng values. Kung malaki ang listahan, mas magandang gumamit ng subquery para mas maging epektibo yung query mo.
So, pag sinabi naman nating exist, it is an operator in which the statement will be only executed if the subquery returns any value. So, here's the example.
So let's take a look in this example. So here, nag-create ako ng table for vendor and create ng table for product. And nag-insert na rin ako ng value for vendor and product. So, gagawin natin yung yung exist operator statement. So, mag-type tayo ng select from vendor, then where exist and parenthesis, then select from then product where PQOH is less than or equal to P min. Then semicolon. Then titignan natin kung magre-return ba siya ng value. So, nag-return siya ng value. So, paano naman pag iniba natin yung statement? Magre-return pa ba siya ng value? So, babaguhin natin yung statement. Gawin nating greater than 5,000. Then, run natin. Then, hindi siya nag-return ng value. So, lagi natin tatandaan kapag sinabi nating exist, magiging true lang yung statement natin kapag nag-return siya ng value. Otherwise, magiging false.
Order by clause. It is usually placed pagkatapos ng select statement or kapag gumagamit ka ng where clause after the where clause. So, yung order by clause is followed by the column that you want to order your table result. So, it could also have the value of ASC or ascending or DESC or descending. Kapag di ka naman maglalagay ng any parameter, it will be default. The default will be in ascending order. Kapag gumamit tayo ng order by clause,
You can use it to sort multiple columns pero susundin pa rin niya yung ordering based sa column that you have first declared. So, here's the example for the order by clause. So, nag-create din ako dito ng table for person and nag-insert na rin ako ng value sa table na yon. So, type natin is select. The select statement, select from. Then after that is the table person. Then, type natin yung order by, followed by the column that you want to order your table. For example, first name. Then, run natin. Then, output niya is first name. Kapag di ka naglagay ng any parameter, the default will be in ascending order. Kagaya niyan. Next, let's try naman, select from, ganun ulit, person, then order by, followed by the column that we want to order. For example, first name, pero this time may nakalagay na DSC or descending. Then, i-run natin siya. So, this time, nauna naman yung first name nag-start sa letter Z. Then, so, for the final example, for the order by clause, this time naman, gagamitin naman natin yung order by last name, followed by the first name, and followed by the middle name. So, titignan natin kung ano magiging resulta ng table. So, pag gumagamit tayo ng order by clause, pwede natin siyang gamitin to sort multiple columns. Pero, susundin pa rin niya yung ordering based sa column na naunang dineclare natin. For example, si Colvin, siya yung nauna. And wala rin naman tayong nilagay na parameter. So, naka-ascending order siya.
Kapag sinabi naman nating distinct clause, it returns all the unique values found in your table. It is used together with particular column or group of columns. Kapag gagamit ka naman ng two or more columns, the result will be concatenated in order for it to return a unique column.
So, here's the example for the distinct clause. So, here's the syntax for the distinct. So, select, then distinct, followed by the column name or the particular column that you want to distinct. For example, first name, from, tas yung table kung saan nagmula yung column. Kunyari, person. Then, let's run. Then, ipiprint out niya yung column nung first name. Ayan. Roberto, Ken, Roberta, Roberto, Zen. So, paano naman pag pareho na may Roberta sa isang value? Ayan, Roberta. So, ulitin natin yung process. And select distinct first name, yung column, then last name. First name, then last name. Then run natin. Natin kung mag-output siya. So, nag-output siya kahit na may parehong name na Roberta. Kapag gagamit tayo ng 2 or more columns, the result will be concatenated in order for it to return a unique column.
Okay, next is the aggregate function in SQL. So, an aggregate function in SQL performs a calculation on a set of values and returns a single value. And madalas din siyang ginagamit in summarizing large datasets, data analysis, and sa reporting. So, we have 5 aggregate function. First is the count function. Sunod is si min and max function. And sum function. And last is the AVG function or the average function. First is the count function. So, the count function is used to tally the number of nominal values of an attributes. So, meaning kapag ginamit natin si count function in any given column sa table ng SQL natin, kapag naran natin yun is i-return lang niya yung bilang ng mga nominal row values doon sa specific column or doon sa given column. Next is the min and max function. So, the min and max function in SQL are used to find the smallest and largest values doon sa given column. Si min function yung nagre-return ng lowest value in a specific column, and si max function naman yung sa highest value. And useful siya for identifying extremes. Pag sinabi natin identifying extremes, ito yung mga lowest or highest score, salary, or any other numerical data point in a dataset. Next is sum function. So, si sum function naman is isa-sum up niya lang lahat ng values, all numeric values doon sa given column natin. And then, kapag na-sum up niya na, tsaka niya yun i-return into a single value and i-output niya doon sa SQL natin. Last is the AVG or the average function. AVG function calculates the average value of a numeric column. So, ang ginagawa niya dito is first, i-sum up niya muna lahat ng numeric value dun sa given column, and tsaka niya i-divide sa total count value dun sa given column. So take note in using sum and AVG function na numeric values lang yung applicable sa kanila. Bawal yung ibang data types such as text, again, char. Bawal yun. Int lang or decimal, float, double. So, para mas maintindihan nyo pa, let's go to our practical example. Let's go to our example.
So, proceed tayo sa practical example. And gumawa pala ako ng bagong table dyan. Name niya is table student. And nilagyan ko na rin siya ng attributes and values na gagamitin natin later to perform the aggregate functions. So, ayan po yung table natin. And kapag niran natin siya, is dapat ganito yung magiging output niya. Ayan, ayan yung column names, and yung values niya sa baba. So, ngayon na okay na yung table natin is pwede na natin ma-perform yung 5 functions. So, una yung count function. And, ganyan pa yung syntax. Select, then yung keyword na count, then open and close parenthesis. Nasa loob yung student last name. From, kung saan table natin siya kukunin, which is sa table student. Kapag niran natin yan, is ang magiging output is 5. So, bakit 5 yung nireturn niyang value? Since si count function is i-return niya lang yung total count non-null values dun sa given column. So, kapag may null dyan, is hindi nyo yun isasama sa bilang. So, next is yung sa min and max function. So, dito naman, same syntax lang siya ng sa count. Ang naiba lang is yung keyword. So, instead of count, ang lalagay natin sa keyword is min. And kapag max naman is max. So, kapag niran natin siya is ganito yung magiging output. Si min function, ang nireturn niyang value is yung grade ko sa DMAT, which is the 77.50. Yung si max function naman, ang nireturn niyang value is yung 95.25. Since kapag si min, ang i-return niyang value is yung lowest value na makikita niya dun sa given column. And si max naman, yung highest value na makikita niya dun sa given column. Next is the sum function. Sum function, same syntax po sa pag-output. Ang naiba lang is yung keyword. So, inaiba ko siya, ginawa ko siyang sum. And kapag niran natin siya, is ganito yung magiging output niya. 250.50. Since ang nangyari dito is sinum up niya lang lahat ng non-null numeric values doon sa given column natin. Doon sa student grade column. Nandiyan yung lahat. Last is yung AVG function. So, same syntax lang sa pag-output. Na iba lang ang keyword. So, kapag nilan natin siya, is ganito yung magiging output niya. 80.100000. And ang nangyari dito is, sinum up niya muna lahat ng non-null numeric values dun sa given column, sa student grade column, tsaka niya i-divide dun sa total count ng given column.